Hello and welcome to another episode of An Encounter. And today we had the pleasure to welcome Kavyal Sedani, who is a life coach, hypnotherapist, and also a relationship expert.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here on our set on Encounter. And we welcome you in Mauritius. This is the first time in Mauritius?
This is my very first time in Mauritius and a very memorable time I've had.
So what was the purpose of your visit here in Mauritius?
So I was collaborating with this beautiful woman, Ashmita Mathura, who has a very, very beautiful facility called Flow Mauritius for the women here, for their mental, emotional, spiritual health. And for Women's Day, we decided to collaborate on this program called Sacred Mirrors, so that we could create a space for all of these women to really look within and see what's blocking them from living their best life. Women are mostly uncomfortable around mirrors. As much as they love mirrors, they have a hard time looking at their whole self. They only end up looking at the flaws and the new freckles they've got and the grays. But Ashmita and me had a joint intention that we truly wanted them to see the beauty of who they are.
Now, you're talking about women, but it's not just women. I mean, everyone, children even,
Yes.
like to look after themselves. Now, more and more, the new generations, they see all the details about themselves. What is the role of a life coach exactly accompanying people, not just women, accompanying people in their life?
We are in a world where people are getting more and more lonely, where people are losing faith in their own relationships, where each person in the house is on their own mobile phones and they don't want to converse anymore because they have the fear that I'm going to be judged, I'm going to be rejected, I'm going to be laughed at, I'm going to be abandoned. So people have stopped speaking. But as a human being, our core need, a very deep emotional need, is to communicate. And if you're not going to communicate with another person, you're going to be lost. You will eventually lose all meaning for life. So a life coach is here to create a space which is sacred, which is confidential, which is safe, where you can come and tell them everything that you did. And instead of saying, oh my God, that's a really horrible person, what a life coach will do is go back to, why do we think something like that could have happened? There must have been something that you went through that made you think like that made you believe that made you act out like that. What can we do to repair the wound so that you can choose a different course of action next time? And also to hold your hand when you're breaking down. Not every person needs advice. A lot of people know exactly what they want to do. But a lot of people want to validate their life experience with somebody else. They want to be heard. They want to share their story with someone else. They want someone else to tell them that they were right. Even though they may have taken the wrong action, they want to be told that I get you, I understand you. And also get another perspective or another opinion sometimes on what do you think I should have done.
Okay.
Our job is to be a secure wall behind them and a secure floor underneath their feet, which allows you the stability to walk, run, and eventually fly.
Just before we explore more about life coaching, let's come to yourself. What triggered you to go in this field of life coaching?
Oh, everything was triggering me. I think I had a very troubled childhood in my head, though I had a very secure childhood on the outside. But a child perceives their reality very differently. So if somebody had a checklist of traumas, I would be ticking on all of them that, yes, I went through this, all of it. And I was too scared to share. I was too scared to open up because I believed it was all my fault. And if I said something, I was going to be blamed for it. And I was not going to be understood. I had major body image issues. So I shied away from really living life or having relationships or having friends because I was like, oh, they're going to see me, but they're not going to see me. They're going to see how fat I am. They're going to see how unhealthy I am. They're going to see how dark I am, how dumb I am. I had all of these labels for myself. And I couldn't really I couldn't really enjoy my life. And I carried that baggage into much later in my life. I think till I was around 28 or 29, I lived with that baggage. Now, if there is somebody who believes that they're not good enough, they don't take up life challenges. They shy away. They retract. They sit in their own shell. They will not go after the perfect college. They will not go chase that job. They will not go chase that relationship because they believe they're not deserving of it. So you create a very low quality life. I created that very low quality life. But for 29 years, I blamed everyone else.
Okay.
That my life is very low quality because you. And I was being triggered right, left, and center. Because triggering is nothing but life trying to poke you enough to wake you up.
And you woke up.
Oh, yes, I woke up. I woke up because I was done sleeping and I was done complaining. And ever since I woke up, I'm just waking everyone else up and saying, stop sleeping. Stop sleeping. Life is actually a very beautiful space, a very beautiful time, and a very beautiful opportunity given to us, a very limited time opportunity.
Okay, I'll ask you one direct question. Is a life coach a psychologist?
Earlier, psychologists used to be the only life coaches, but it's not necessary today. There are people who have been bankers and they've been journalists and they've been lawyers and now are transitioning into wanting to assist other people as well. But you also have to understand that till around 10, 15 years ago, there was no space, there was no qualification called the life coach. So all the people who actually wanted to do this didn't get the opportunity. Now that they are getting the opportunity, a lot of people are transitioning into a position where they can be of service to other people.
Now, you're also a hypnotherapist.
Yes.
When we talk about hypnotherapist, we believe it's about hypnotizing people. Some people are scared, she's going to hypnotize me and tell me to do things and this.
Yeah.
What is it really? Can you...
Yes, I do understand. People do have that fear that hypnotherapy is hypnotism. Hypnotism is actually used for trickery. It's used for taking away the control of the other person to get them to do what you want them to do. Clinical hypnotherapy is nothing like that. Clinical hypnotherapy, we want the client to retain the control with them. They're always in control. We're just taking them to a mild phase of trance where their barriers can go down, where the subconscious can give us access to some memories that have hurt them. If I ask you right now, then why don't you tell me about that memory when you were 7 years old and your friends bullied you and your shoulders may tense and you'd be like, oh, no, I don't want to talk about that. That's your barriers coming up because clearly you're uncomfortable. But when we take you into a mild, relaxing trance under clinical hypnotherapy, you're like, okay, I'm willing to go there. Because the thing is, we can't heal what we refuse to see. We have to be able to go back and see something to be able to clean it up. And hypnotherapy allows us that opportunity.
So, being a life coach and a hypnotherapist also, it requires an element of trust with the person who comes to you.
Yes.
How do you build that trust?
By being as honest and open as I can be about my own life. So we have a lot of followers on Instagram. I do a lot of podcasts, and my USP or what I'm known for is that I'm blatantly honest. I will speak about things that people would be uncomfortable speaking about without any judgment. I don't pretend to be somebody else that I am not. If I've goofed up, I've goofed up. If I don't know something, I'm open enough in saying, I don't know something. Tell me about it. So when people see that I'm not sitting in a chair of superiority or I'm not that person who knows it all, then they feel like, yeah, I'm safe here because there's no difference between her and me. My job is to mirror somebody and create a safe space that, listen, when people come to therapy and they use curse words because they have so much emotion there, and they'll immediately apologize and be, no, I'm sorry. I said, don't worry, my language is worse than yours. So it just creates a space where they don't have to pretend to be someone they're not. That's my job.
So, by talking to you, I get now to understand that when people come to you, it's all about in the mind. their problems are in the mind, or they're real problems, or they're just exaggerating the problem? What do you see?
Everything is in our mind. The goodness on the planet is our mind. The horror in the planet is in our mind. And if I'm wearing a pair of very expensive sunglasses, which has a black tint, I wear it to the most amazing beach, but I'm going to see everything in the shades of black and white, all black or grays. If I change that and wear a yellow lens, everything looks yellow. It's just about changing the lens that you're already carrying in your head. By no means am I trying to say that, oh, if you're poor, you're pretending to be poor. No, you're not. That's a real problem. If you don't have a child and you're struggling, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. It exists in your mind. No, it's not. It's a problem. But what I have to do is change the perspective of what can we do about this? Okay, you're done sitting in your victim zone. Okay, you cried for 20 minutes. Okay, I gave you my shoulder. Now let's wake up. Wake up and tell me, what can we really do about this? A huge problem that we have today is that people want spiritual answers to physical problems. People want to do past life regressions to justify their laziness and say, tell me, there must be a past life connection to why I'm not able to achieve my goals. And I'm, as a person, giving them a real whack and saying that, buddy, you're just not waking up enough. You will have to put in the consistency. You will have to put in the work. I'm not doing no past life regression for you to justify you sitting in your problems. So as much as I will give spiritual assistance and I will give them a spiritual perspective to why you could have been born in a situation and a circumstance that is difficult, I will not give them spiritual jargon to stay there. My job is to get them up and say, let's do the real work now. Come on, let's do it.
Okay, you're talking about spiritual assistance.
Yes.
And does that involve some kind of prayers or belief in God or some rituals? What is it all about?
Well, spiritual assistance, very often, I'm born to an astrologer. My father is a fantastic astrologer. So sometimes people could be doing all the amazing work that they're doing and they're still stuck in their lives because astrologically they're going through a very hard time. So we combine the beauty of astrology, numerology, tarot, axis bars, family constellations. All of these are spiritual realms of work. And yes, the Reiki and the Theta, we do have groups that also offer cosmic healing and prayers, and all of that is there, yes. But that's not the only thing. But I do combine all of that into your practical life. Like, okay, great, you had a very, very horrible Saturn period. We've done some prayers for you to take care of that very harsh Saturn. But where's your share of the work? Show me your share of the work. I did mine. You show me yours. So we combine both of those to be able to give them a full-fledged result.
So, Kavyal Sedani, you're here on an Encounter program. And while talking to you, we realize people come to you, like you said, to get assistance, to get them move out from what's disturbing them. And during all the years' experience in this field, what is one common thing, one common problem that is the root cause of all that suffering people when they come to you?
The lack of faith. The lack of faith in themselves, the lack of faith in the universe, the lack of faith in people they are around, the lack of faith in the work that they do. They're always just edgy and anxious. When you have a lack of faith, you become this person who believes that they're absolutely alone and they have to do everything all by themselves. Like, really? We can't even control our breaths. Clearly something else is controlling us, right? We don't have that much power that we can sit in a chair of ego and saying, I was self-made, everything that I've done all by myself. No, 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 no. A lot of opportunities were sent your way. A lot of red flags, signals, they were sent your way to even protect you. A lot of people came in the angelic forms to tell you that I don't think you should do this. I think you should do that. We can't negate all of that. These are all blessings that are coming from the universe. We are never alone. We're never, never, never alone. So if people only got that, and if they operated from faith, that even if this happened, it was great for me. If it didn't happen, that was even greater for me. I was being protected.
Just coming to that, so people want to say, they want to be happy. They don't want to face any challenge, no difficulties. This is what they want. And when they start facing those challenges, even at any level, you might be a very high professional in any field, medicine, law, engineering, journalist, whatever. And then when you see challenges coming, you see, you know, there must be something like not good in me or my environment, those people, like you said, blaming each other. So how does it come to the mind that, okay, we can't do anything about that? It's like, I don't know, I was born, there must be something like, I don't know, my karma did something. This is why I'm facing this challenge, and no, don't do anything.
Let me leave you with something that people will understand. Have you had a grandparent you ever heard stories from?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you been inspired by any grandparent who came
course.
from a space of poverty or discomfort?
Not really. But
Like
yes,
difficult
they suffered,
situations,
yes,
right?
yes.
As a grandchild, the grandchild would be fascinated to hear a story of how there was struggle and how the grandparent came out of it. That's what inspires them. That's what begins to, plant the seeds of, wow, really? My grandfather did that. My grandmother did that. I want to do it too. What is the story you're going to tell your grandchildren? That what did I do on Sundays? Watch Netflix? Like, wore this little black dress and went to this party, and Monday I went to another party, and Tuesday I went to another party, and then we were just chilling with friends, and I had this wine and that wine. That's not interesting. You are in the middle of a play. You're in the middle of a movie where you're making a glorious film that's not just going to inspire you, that's going to inspire many generations after you. If you see a really good film, you'll be like, I wish I could create that sort of impact. Which person on the planet who has an absolutely rosy life is creating impact? Nobody. There has to be a story of struggle. You have to go through that struggle. You can't have a six-pack app and a great body without going to the gym. You can't say, I want to lie in bed and have a great body. No, that doesn't work, buddy. It doesn't work. You want to inspire yourself. You want to see how far you can go. This journey is about seeing how far could I go? And how far is not a straight road. It's mountains, it's oceans, it's you crawling with your knees hurting and saying, I can't do it, but it's the last mile, I'm going to do it. That is what inspires us.
So you say, take up the challenges, accept them and face them and move forward.
The challenges are set for you to see how beautiful, amazing, and powerful you are. Don't run away from them. Take them. The life is created for you. It's a hurdle race so that you can win.
So that's very inspiring, Kavyal Sedani. Thank you for having accepted to be here on our encounter set. And we wish you some nice holidays here in Mauritius.
I had a lovely time in Mauritius.
Take some good memories from Mauritius.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Thank you, dear watchers. So thank you very much. We'll see you next time for another episode of Encounter. Goodbye.